Hello friends, it's Kristine Vicente with Queen City Stamp Art, and today I'm going to be sharing the Timeless Tropical Bundle for the Clean and Simple card. This product is retiring, this product bundle is retiring with the 2021 to 2022 annual Stampin' Up! Catalog, which will retire at the end of this month. And you can find these products, the stamp set you can find on page 21 of the catalog. The corresponding dies you can find on page 163 of the catalog. So it's worth having a look at these. They're really fun if you like a tropical vibe to your card projects. And the die set will actually cut out all of the images shown in the stamp set. It also has a really pretty detailed pineapple. So if you like to create welcome cards when you welcome a coworker or a neighbor, this is a really great pineapple to have because it's quite large. It kind of takes up the whole card front. So it's a nice way to create a very easy, quick, clean, and simple card. So we're going to be using these products. I'm also going to be showing you a fun technique for creating a background with some texture, some extra texture that gives a great tropical vibe. So why don't we get started? The first thing we're going to do is prepare that background piece that I mentioned. So we're going to take, in this particular card, I'm going to be using a panel of Old Olive cardstock, and this is just our regular Old Olive. I also have our little mini spritzer bottle, and I've put some tap water in here. These bottles are great for a lot of different techniques, but the cap comes off, and then you just kind of screw it back on. You fill it with water or bleach or whatever method you're using, alcohol in some cases. We're just using tap water for this one. And I'm just going to take, and I'm going to hold this about, I'd say it's about 6 inches away, and just give it a couple of spritzes. And then I'm going to just take my fingers and kind of rub it over the surface. And I'm going to crumple it. I'm literally just crumpling it up. And what happens is the water makes it a little bit easier to crumple, and you get kind of a worn look to it. So I'm just kind of mushing it around. I'm really crumpling it and mushing it. And now I'm going to uncrumple it and smooth it out and see what we get. Yeah, so this is great. There's a really neat pattern, and you'll see that when you do this technique, you'll actually get a more defined pattern on one side compared to the other. This is a little softer. This is a little bit more creased and defined. So you pick whichever side you like. Now I'm just kind of smoothing it out, and I'm going to set this aside to just dry a little bit. It dries pretty quickly. I didn't put a ton of water on it. I only did a few spritzes, but it softens it enough to give it kind of a worn look, and it makes it a little bit easier to crumple. So I'm going to put that aside, and we're going to do a little bit of stamping and die cutting. So for this card, we're going to be using the palm tree image, and I want these palm trees to have brown trunks and green leaves. So I don't have a soft suede. I actually do have a soft suede marker. I just can't find it. So we're going to be using the actually the Sahara sand ink pad, and I want to color this. So I'm just going to tap the ink onto the stems like that. And then I'm going to take my finger and I'm just going to kind of wipe off the ink from the leaves in case I got any of the brown ink on there. And then I'm going to take my Old Olive marker, and I'm going to use the brush tip end, and I'm just going to color with the side of the brush the palm part of the trees here. And I'm just kind of going back and forth and making sure to get the edges and add some color to the leaves. And this will give us a two-tone palm tree. Now I'm going to breathe on it. Just give it a nice breath of air and stamp it down. And this gives me, the brown trunks and the green foliage, which I like. So now we're going to take one of the dies, the die that cuts out the palm tree, and I've added a little bit of micropore, like first aid tape to this die. I just leave it attached until it wears out. And then I'm just going to kind of line these up like this. And I'm going to bring in my little mini stamp cut and emboss machine, and we're going to die cut these out. Pardon my camera shake there, I'm sorry. There we go. Very good. So now I will just set these aside and we will put the card together. So I'm all set with the Sahara ink pad, Sahara sand. We're going to bring in the soft suede, and we are going to stamp one of the sentiments from the set, the Rest and Relax, You Deserve It sentiment. This is a fun card to send people who are going on vacation. Like if I have a girlfriend and I know she's going off on a tropical vacation, a lot of times I will pop a card like this in the mail because it's just kind of fun to get that before you go away, to know that, you know, people are thinking about you and hoping you have a good time. So the card base is basic white thick, and I cut it to 11 by 4 1/4, and then I scored it at 5 1/2 on the long end. And I'm just going to use my bone folder there to get a nice crisp fold. We're going to add a layer of Sahara sand as the base layer. And I'm just going to center that on the front of the card, like this. Then we're going to bring in that layer that we created. This is so fun. And what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to add adhesive on these corners. So I'm going to go ahead and add some adhesive, but not on those corners. I'm going to center this on the card front and go ahead and smooth that down. And then I'm going to take, and I'm just going to kind of roll up the corner here on this one. And it's still a little bit soft, so it's easy to kind of roll the corner. And you can always use like a tool if you have like a pencil or something in your stash. So we're just going to add that to add a little bit of extra texture. Then we're going to place a circle of vellum on the front here. This gives us a little subtle platform to build, I think I'll do 2, to build the design on. So I'm just going to put a little bit of vellum there. And I strategically placed that because we're going to be adding the tree with some dimensional adhesive right here. So I'm going to add some dimensional adhesive here, and then I'll put a little tape runner on the actual trunks of the trees, just like that. And then I'm going to layer the trees on, just like this. And then we'll add some dimensional adhesive to the sentiment. And it's really okay if the vellum curls up a little bit. It kind of adds to the whole texture and vibe of this card. We're just going to add this here like this. I like to offset it just a little bit from the circle. And then to embellish this card, I thought we would add a nice bow of linen thread. This is such a great texture itself. It's so natural, and it has a great little tropical vibe to it. I like when that happens, when things coordinate. And then to add this little bow, I'm going to use a glue dot. So I'm just going to put the knot of the bow in the center of the glue dot and pick it off, and just add it here between the 2 trunk stems. There we go. And then I think we'll add a few of these elegant faceted gems to finish it off. And I'm going to use the pinkish colored ones just to add a new color. Introduce a third color here. Just a few of them on here, just like that, just to add some sparkle and kind of finish it off. But what's nice about this card and the whole clean and simple part of it is that it really sets off the wrinkled background, that crumpled background, and then it gives it almost like a pirate map feel when you round the corners, the opposite corners. I just like how that looks. I just think it looks very fresh and rustic and tropical. So I hope you enjoyed the card for today. I will put the products I used in the description of the video. I also have a host code for this month, and if you spend $50 using the host code, I'll send you a goodie box of Stampin' Up products as my thank you. It'll be valued at least $30. The bigger your order, the bigger the box. So enjoy shopping with me this month because there's an extra benefit. And thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Bye.